Let me paint you a picture of one of my strongest memories.
17th, really? He's not even in the top 10. I just don't understand breaking down.
Okay, look, that was the wrong one. Let me paint you a picture of one of my strongest memories. Is that? No. It is? Oh my god! Oh my god, it is! Oh! Yes, when Monster Hunter World first came on that screen on that E3, while I sat there late at night watching it with some friends, seeing what might happen, I never expected that might happen. Not this game that I played since its very first entry, Monster Hunter 1 on the PS4, well, 20 years ago now, hey? And I really wanted to get more people into it, but no one ever would, and it was just kind of this little niche thing, in the West, of course, adored and very popular in Japan and such, but over here, not really many people had heard of it. It had a small, dedicated community, the generations rolled by, and it did fine, right? But it was never this thing, this huge thing that it has become, and it became that because of Monster Hunter World. Gaining near 30 million new players and catapulting it from this niche, loved little hunting game that everyone really should try to this incredible, everyone knows about it, hunter game that now we're all just sat here waiting for it to get wild. But the thing is, Monster Hunter was always that good. It was always that special. It was always that deliciously addicting with that perfect blend of nature and action. It just took Monster Hunter World to open a lot of people's eyes. And there's nothing wrong with that. The older Monster Hunter games were harder to get into, mainly because they were much harder to just play by their portable nature, and you just simply didn't have the word of mouth, and you didn't have that big flagship standout, look how shiny it is title that World became. It literally got the world stage when it was announced, and it carried that through as we approached release, and then the rest is history. 5 years, or how long has it been since World? 6 years! 2018 January! God, that explains why I'm about to turn 31. In any case, yeah, the phenomenon that is World is perhaps a once-in-a-lifetime experience, except that it isn't, because this video isn't about Monster Hunter World, but I needed to set that story in your mind, because what this video is about is Dragons Dogma 2. Because look, Dragons Dogma, the original, is an incredible game, and yes, also by Capcom, also involving hunting giant beasties, also an RPG with a lot of action, but of course, very much its own thing. But a brilliant game, a compelling game, a game filled with unique systems that scratch itches you can't get anywhere else. The magic comes to mind, the pawns come to mind, the world itself and how it flowed comes to mind, and how you actually climbed over and took down the enemies. But in any case, it created a dedicated yet small following, because it deserved it. And it's been 12 years since that game came out. 12 years to wait for more for those that already have had their eyes open to it. But just like with World, I don't blame anyone that's not played the original, doesn't care for the original. It went under the radar. It's long been forgotten by the vast majority of, well, everyone except its dedicated Arisen, of which I'm sure a lot of you guys are, especially on this channel, especially with the lovely community we have here. We're more than likely to have a higher concentration of people that have enjoyed it, but in the grand scheme of things, it's still a Dragons Dogma when you bring it up to just any given random person. But we're about to have Dragons Dogma 2. The wait is finally over, and that makes me so happy, because what is Dragons Dogma 2 but the Monster Hunter world for Dragons Dogma? A now finally modern, being the best way to say it, beautiful refinement update, but still true and core and carrying the heart of the original that has been thrust forward for all to see. 12 years ago, there wasn't a bunch of really, well, too obsessed content creators like me and all the others that you watch, talking about it constantly. Even just being able to release the trailer for it and it gets millions of views. That's millions of people now seeing it that really weren't really that bothered 12 years ago. So even just on that front, on online community and the reach that that has, it's already in so many more people's minds. But even past that, it's just, again, different day and age. 12 years. So many people are aware of Dragons Dogma 2, and for good reason. Just look at the character creator release. That has caused a storm. A sometimes horrific storm filled with abominations that make me wish I could bleach my eyes. But just a character creator causing this much hype is amazing. There's still the entire game to come, and that is so indicative of what's happening. And it's happening again. That world factor, that specialness, that the game that puts the game on the map. And I really do think that Dragons Dogma 2 is the Monster Hunter world for Dragons Dogma. So many people are going to try it, and I implore you to be one of them if you are not already a Dragons Dogma-er and aren't sure. You've probably seen all the Dragons Dogma stuff that's going round. You've probably seen us check it out for you guys, get you some exclusive early gameplay, and yeah, as someone who has given it a little go, it really is that good. It really is worth your time. It is worth being on your radar, but I probably don't have to tell you that because it likely already is, whereas the first never was. We have this update to it, systems that are much more refined, not as clunky as they used to be, a much needed visual upgrade, and it looks absolutely beautiful now. It plays buttery smooth, the world has been updated and advanced, we have so much more power to, well, power it, to increase the scope and the detail, and all of it is going to come together to produce this really defining RPG that is certainly going to have its quirks, but they're features, not bugs, in Dragons Dogma. And we're going to have suddenly so many more people exposed to it, loving it, playing it, and a community rising up around it, and I was just kind of sat there thinking, actually, maybe not as big as Monster Hunter World, because Monster Hunter itself was already bigger than Dragon's Dogma by a fair bit, and I think is a lot more approachable for a just average person checking it out than Dragon's Dogma, but certainly there is an element of, wait, I've seen this happen before, in looking at the excitement and the build-up and everyone as they talk about it, and all of the lovely comments on our Dragon's Dogma 2 stuff. There really is this element of anticipation and excitement buzzing in the air, and I kind of wanted to figure out why, and then yeah, it dawned on me. We have seen this before, but with the other Capcom game, like there's only two, you know what I mean, in Monster Hunter. And I really do think we are in for an absolute, veritable treat. And I think it's going to be cool. I think it's going to be big. And I think you really should do yourself the service of checking it out. Even just the classes and the spells and the skills and how they work is so unlike everything else and so compelling. There has never been a better magic system to me than the one in Dragon's Dogma. It really just has that edge to it that you don't see in other games. But in any case, I hope you have enjoyed this little rambling, and indeed, I hope you have felt inspired or at least intrigued by it as we look at this phenomenon. In any case, like if you did, subscribe and hit the bell for more. Let me know if you are planning on Dragon's Dogma 2ing, and until we meet again, a goodbye. Bye.
Josh, Cotton, and Hollow with the videos, dropping the humor like a hammer on your tippy toes, bringing entertainment on a daily arrangement to take our insanity and turn it into entertainment. Yes, I said entertainment twice, to reiterate that it is nice to look into your faces on a mostly daily basis when you let us in your homes to make the whole world a stage. Goodbye.